I'm Smokin Ed Currie. I'm a professional hot sauce maker and pepper breeder. And today we're gonna be trying the hottest peppers from different countries all around the world. We're gonna find the world's mildest and the world's wildest. Let's eat some peppers. Peach Ghost. It originated in Sri Lanka. The pepper is part of the Jolokia family, which is where the ghost peppers come from. The heat range on it is very, very low. It's from about 300,000 to about 400,000. Even though I say it's not a very hot pepper, if you're comparing it to, say, a jalapeno at 3,000 to 5,000 Scoville heat units, 300,000 Scoville heat units is a big jump. When you see a ghost pepper, most of the heat is all inside. Up here where the pith is gonna be the hottest part. Down here at the bottom is gonna be the most flavorful part. So if you cut at the bottom to give it a taste, it'll give you an idea of what you wanna pair this with. Actually, that's a very good pepper. I like pairing it with curries so that you get the flavor of the pepper, but it doesn't overpower the other flavors in the curry. Even though it's hot, over habanero hot, it's got a lot of flavor. And I'm gonna have to put it on the mild side and very flavorful. If we weren't filming all day, I'd be eating it the rest of it. But we have more peppers to try. Yellow scorpion. All scorpion peppers come from the Caribbean. However, they've been moved all over the world. This particular pepper was bred by a breeder in Italy. The scorpions are known for their little tail. There's 3 different particular lobes. I'm gonna cut the tail off of this one. The scorpions hit me on the side of the mouth, underneath my tongue too. The heat on this, well over 1 million Scoville heat units. I don't know if you can see, my eyes watered right away. I'm getting a little drip in my nose and it's kind of catching me in the throat. Fantastic heat. As far as flavor goes, for me, yeah, it tastes horrible. No floral tones to it. It doesn't have any sweetness to it. It just tastes like heat. We dry them. It gives it a good kick and the flavor comes out a lot sweeter than if it's raw. So I'm gonna put this pepper down here. Very little flavor at all, but it is very hot. So I'm gonna call it a hot mess. Let's try some more peppers. Chocolate scorpion is said to originate on Trinidad. However, this particular version comes from the island of St. Vincent, thought to be one of the hottest peppers in the world, but in testing, they usually come out around 1.2, 1.3 million. Now, chocolate peppers do not have any chocolate in it. A lot of people make that mistake. There's a high tannin content in chocolate peppers. Those bumps and the wrinkles in the skin are usually indicative that this pepper is gonna hurt. Now the heat comes on right away. The tannins in the chocolate tend to offset that bitterness and give it a totally different fruity flavor. Instead of that bitter side like we got with the yellow scorpion, I'm getting that fruity side. It's staying up in the front of my mouth and up in my olfactories. I love pairing chocolate peppers with sweet stuff. Mix it all together and marinate a nice steak in it. It is delicious. However, it is hot. So I'm gonna put that one right up here. It's extremely spicy. It's a hot and fruity blast because you get hit immediately with that heat. Let's move on to the next pepper. Orange Madame Jeanette from Suriname. A lot of people who can take habanero heat, this is the pepper for you. It's got a really high content of sugar. They tend to have a very long seed pocket in them. So there's not very many places on the pepper that don't have the heat. If you want that heat and you don't mind that bitterness, you can just drop the whole pepper in. When you cut this pepper, the smell that comes out is like, oh, it's almost like a bell pepper. This isn't hot at all, but when you eat it, you know, oh crap, I ate something hot. It's almost a citrusy tone. I tend to use this in Asian dishes because I don't like using the little red peppers. I like something that has a lot more heat to it, but kind of the same flavor profile. On a good lobster roll or a California roll, this is the perfect pepper to have. Not hot at all, but the flavor is amazing. I'm gonna put this up here as one of my favorite cooking peppers. I'm gonna just say this one's good eats. Yellow Naga. from Pakistan. Nagas and Jalokias are cousins. It's kind of like saying a Golden Delicious and a Honeycrisp apple. Same kind of flavor. The heat on it, you know, I would say about 800,000 Scoville heat units, maybe a little bit higher depending on how you grow them. So even though on average it is not nearly one of the hottest in the world, it's still a super hot pepper and should be handled with care. Boom, right away, sweet flavor, just like with the Madame Jeanette, but you can feel it building up in the back of your throat. This one has a little bit of that earthy tone to it. It needs something vibrant to pick it up. The sweetness went away pretty quickly and became more of a ghosty taste to it. So I'm gonna put this right in the middle. It's not a less flavorful pepper, it's not a more flavorful pepper. You definitely need to add something that'll pull up the flavor. For those who want to experiment with heat, this is a good pepper to experiment with. This is all around fun. Red Apocalypse, all the way over the pond from England. The Apocalypse is a version of the scorpion pepper. It is delicious. It's got a very big pocket at the bottom. It packs a lot of heat because that capsaicin producing membrane has come down all the way through that pocket. This is brutal. Excuse me, this is brutal hot. That might have been a mistake, and it's probably a mistake to cut some more, but it is one of my favorite tasting peppers. That sweetness that comes through is amazing. I use this sometimes in my own hot sauce at home when I'm making a small batch just for myself. So I love this on fish. A little more flavorful and a little less heat. It's probably one of the best all-around peppers. Yellow Congo. Everybody knows the brown Congo from Africa. This is the yellow Congo. Very rare to find in the USA. The heat on it is about 600,000 Scoville heat units. This yellow Congo is a lot hotter than the brown, and that's abnormal for peppers. It really doesn't matter where you cut a piece of this pepper, it's gonna be hot because that seed pocket goes from the top to the bottom. All that producing membrane is everywhere. So, instantly it explodes with heat. But that heat only lasts for a minute. You know, it just boom, 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 and it's gone. Then you're left with the flavor of the pepper. I am having fun, and this is a good pepper. This is a little bit milder and a little less wilder. Wow, that one got caught right here. Let's do the next one. Chocolate X from Parts Unknown, USA. Pepper X is a pepper that I crossbred. It turned out to be a really, really hot pepper. It also turned out to be a really, really good pepper for cooking, especially in hot sauces. It's full of bumps, and those bumps, again, are indicative of the pepper being really hot. It almost looks green inside, where all that capsaicin-producing material is. My hands are gonna be hot just from touching this. I wouldn't recommend doing what I do and doing this without gloves, because if you touch something higher, you touch something low, you're gonna be in a lot of pain. One of the things that happens with peppers is your brain perceives through a nerve receptor that only mammals have. I can feel in my body, literally everything going through my system with this pepper. My hands are tingling, my arms are tingling. I feel like I'm getting that rush from the dopamine because there's such a high concentration of capsaicin in this one, it's getting me hot. This is the point in eating peppers where you see on those videos online that fight or flight. Some people just freak out and they're like, ah, and they gotta run for water and they chug stuff and they get sick. Right now my tongue is on fire. Holy smokes. You okay? Yeah, it is brutal hot. This one has good flavor and good heat. They tend to overpower things. So you need a really good hearty dish. I've used it in lasagnas before. It is the hottest pepper that's here, but definitely not the most flavorful that we've tried so far. If you want to do something that's stupid, this is the one to cook with a capital T. Red ghost pepper, or the Jalokia pepper from India. This one happens to be the variety called Butt Jalokia. At one time, this was considered the world record pepper. They really come in 600,000 to 700,000 Scoville heat units. This pepper has a really, really, really savage burn to it. It comes at you like no tomorrow and then dissipates very, very quickly. This is also a common pepper that is used for pepper sprays. People tend to pair this with sweet things to offset that blazing initial heat. The hit of heat was so powerful right up front that immediately my nose started running. My lips are tingling. I'm just gonna call it the average Joe dirt. It's really spicy, but it's nothing spectacular. And the average Joe thinks they're doing the best thing by eating it. Red Reaper Ruga. It's a development that happened in both Trinidad and the USA. I worked with a scientist in Trinidad to get this pepper going. This pepper is really, really hot. They average around 1.1, 1.2 million Scoville heat units now. This is one of those things where a little goes a long way. That sweetness comes through first, and then that scorpion tone from the Moruga comes in second. So you don't really get that overwhelming before the heat really starts kicking in, and it's starting to kick in right now. Or your body or your taste buds can't really decide. Am I tasting sweet? Am I tasting bitter? Why is it getting hotter? Did I really want to do this to myself? And that confusing taste really can excite a meal. Be a great pepper to use for hot sauce. That's about it. Because it is brutally hot, and it has a really good volume to it that keeps the sauce really thick. I'm gonna put this one a little bit over the scorpion. Even though it's really hot, most people are not gonna like the flavor. No one really should eat this pepper, other than in a hot sauce. So maybe it's just a sauce-only pepper. Yellow 7-pot. This is a yellow 7-pot that originates from Jamaica. They say that one pepper is good for 7 pots of food. Depending on the color, between 500,000 Scoville heat units and 800,000 Scoville heat units, these yellows are more down on the low end. The best peppers for all-around cooking. Get that really, really good heat with a lot of flavor. This pepper is scary. When you cut them open, boom, look at that seed pocket, all the way down. It is an extremely hot pepper. Citrus, floral, just a good all-around flavor. You can use this in almost any dish and get that really, really good heat with a lot of flavor. Not the hottest. Still hotter than most people will take. Your whole family can enjoy a meal made with this pepper. Chocolate Carolina Reaper from the United States of America, and I'm showing you something different. This pepper is brutal, so there's very little you need. It's a heavy tannin pepper. So on the inside, it might look red, it might look brown. The color also works out to being part of the flavonoid. These Reapers have an initial sweet hit, and then you could start getting that tannin reaction in your mouth. Carolina Reaper, hottest pepper in the world. It is brutal. I use it a lot for cooking stews. I use it a lot for cooking eggs. They also pair well with salt. We do Reaper salts. When we do salts that have pepper in them, we use black Reaper because that tannin and the salt really work well together. It's not for normal people. It can only be used to heat up a dish. So I'm gonna just say this is all heat and no meat. Reaper. This is Smokin Ed's Carolina Reaper, great state of South Carolina in the United States. This is the Guinness World Record for the hottest pepper in the world. Most of the people in this world who actually eat Carolina Reapers are eating them in hot sauce form because that's the way to get the really good flavor of the Reaper and be able to control how much you're taking in. The thing that makes the Carolina Reaper different than other peppers, the seed pocket is really thick. That membrane has come around the whole pepper all the way to the bottom. So this piece at the very bottom is going to be just as hot as the piece at the very top. Sweet heat right up front, but then boom, it's right here. It just burns. Just a teeny bit is enough for a whole pot. And then you get that pepper flavor, you get a warm heat, something that's enjoyable. This is brutally hot, So I'm just gonna leave it right there with the chocolate X and just call it stupid. HP 72 from Parts Unknown USA. This is the first time on camera for this pepper. It's a yet to be named pepper. It is a mixture of a chocolate pepper and a Carolina Reaper. It is probably the ugliest pepper that I ever bred. That was tested at 2.5 million by 3 different universities here in the United States. It has very, very, very high tannin concentrates. When you cut it open, it just oozes oil. I'm afraid to touch it because it just hurts my hands when I do. That capsaicin producing membrane is all around the pepper. I have yet to try to put this in a meal because I can't think of anything that it's not going to overpower. That was a mistake. It's like it went down my palate and back up my nose. All the oil that's been expressed from that pepper. I can't even put this on the board. I wouldn't give this to my best friend. This makes those other peppers look like babies. I'm gonna go put this somewhere else. 7 Pot Douglah. We're rounding out our trip around the world with one of probably the most underrated peppers in the super hots. A pepper from the island of Trinidad in the Caribbean. You can see from the shape, it's just got warts and bumps all over it. If you look inside, the ribs are almost like ghost pepper. It goes all the way down the plant, and the seed pockets go all the way down the plant. We've tested them at the local universities at over 1.3 million. As far as I'm concerned, it's a badass pepper. This pepper has a very, very slow build. The flavor on this pepper is phenomenal. The heat just a little bit above median for me. So I'm gonna put this, out of all these peppers, as the most flavorful one we have. So as you can see, we've completed our journey of peppers from around the world. Maybe you can use some to expand your palate. Maybe you shouldn't touch any at all. Some of them have flavor, some are just heat. Highly recommend that you start on the low end and work your way up. And remember, less is more. You need to enjoy the food you're eating. I am Smokin Ed Currie, and I hope you enjoyed this trip around the world with peppers. I'm gonna up your world. My pastor's gonna kill me.